Good Lord. Right. Kia ora tātou. Thank you all for coming. In fact, it's lovely to see you all here. Fancy that. I think it's you they want to take a photo of, not me. As you know, I've asked Aoraki Ward Councillor Desley Simpson to act as my Deputy Mayor for the Auckland Council. She's both my choice as the Deputy Mayor and she is overwhelmingly supported by members of the new governing body who I've spent the last 3 weeks interviewing and consulting with. She's universally admired for her integrity, her professionalism and loyalty, and her ability to get things done through the council bureaucracy and committee process. She's highly regarded as a regional leader with a broad Auckland-wide perspective. She maintains the greatest support for her own community of any councillor on the governing body, having topped the poll with nearly 25,000 personal votes. Leslie and I are going to be a great team, and we will lead a team of 21. More broadly, with the local boards and the Independent Maori Statutory Board, we will work together as a team of 179 for the benefit of Auckland. Leslie, would you like to say something? I'm sure she would.
Thank you, Your Worship. It's a great honour and a privilege to accept the position as Deputy Mayor. We're very different people. I never let short on what Mayor Brown says, but I think I'm really keen to put a team together. Everyone's put their hand up as an elected member to work together and make Auckland even better. And it's my real privilege to work with Mayor Brown and make sure that we have a positive team of elected members that make decisions, get on with the job and fix Auckland. Thank you.
It's just possible that some of you might have some questions.
When a lot has been said about what appears to be a media strategy from you, a lot of declined interviews. What is your strategy?
Oh, it'd be quite good, seeing as I don't know some of you, if you could identify which particular organisation.
From Radio New Zealand.
That's good. We've been issuing lots of statements every day about what we're doing and where we're going with that, and I am very busy, and so the media strategy is to inform with written stuff every day so that you know what's going on and so that everybody knows what's going on. But I just don't have the time to respond to all the requests for interviews, so we've brought you together today to do that.
So will it change?
The media.
Your availability to the media change?
Yeah, it's possible it will when my availability even exists. I mean, my first thing is to be available to the elected members and to the senior management and the many layers of management in here so that I can get understanding. I've got to be available to the representatives of CCOs, and so there's a fair clamour for my time. And I don't want to get ahead of the governing board until we've met and they have understood their positions within the team and how we are going to go ahead as a team.
Mayor Brown, Isabel Ewing from News Hub. How would you rate your first 3 weeks in office?
Interesting. Is that all right?
Any more words than just the one?
Oh, very interesting. I mean, I've enjoyed meeting my councillors, meeting the staff of my part of my other strategy is that I am the leader of the largest city in New Zealand, and so I don't have time to fly to Wellington, and that's working well. It seems that prime ministers and ministers have time to fly here, and so that's working well as well.
And on that, you sat down with PM Ardern. Did she bring you around to Three Waters?
We discussed a number of things, and we made some quite good progress on those things which we definitely agree on, perhaps the need for a review of the legislation which set up Auckland Council. They are doing a government review of local government, and it would seem rather silly that they didn't take much account of the 12-year experiment which we have been part of. We both agreed to take steps forward on the ports, and in terms of the three waters, she explained her position, and I await to be further encouraged towards support of that, but we didn't declare war or anything.
But
Wayne,
did she bring you around to it a little bit though? Did she change your mind on it at all?
Well, I understood her position on it, and she understood some of my practical questions as a former owner of a water supply company.
You mentioned the ports. Given the fiscal storm that both you and Leslie talk about, if there was interest in buying the operations of Ports of Auckland, why would the council not be wise to look at it?
Well, it would be most unwise to look at that. That's the sort of thing that people who don't understand business might think was sensible, but that's not going to happen, so that's off the agenda. Don't worry about that.
So you could extract fiscally, you could extract more from the existing structure than having someone buy the operations.
Well, I think you could extract more from. I think anyone could extract more from what's down there than they have managed to so far. But that's not the route that I intend or have ever even mentioned as a good idea. It was never even a consideration that any sensible people brought through during the entire time that the Upper North Island supply chain study even considered the many options.
Can you update us on which CCOs the boards should resign from?
Well, I think I'll have more on that later after the governing body have met together.
Mayor Brown, Simon Wilson from the Herald.
Hello, Simon Wilson from the Herald.
You make an inauguration speech on Friday night. Are you planning to use that as a kind of state of the city speech and set out a program?
No, I used the speech which I gave to the team of 178 other members
Which we've seen.
as that speech. I think the one at the inauguration is one really to tell people it's a night to enjoy the fruits of the successful election that they all benefited from, and enjoy that particular process, and look forward to taking the first steps in what will be a long and carefully mapped out 3-year project to fix Auckland.
Leslie, you said that the pair of you are very different. In what ways do you think you're different from the mayor?
Can we just step up to answer?
Step up to the mic.
No, Leslie.
I'm sorry.
You're not short of knowing where the mayor comes from. I suppose I'm naturally more conciliatory. Would that be the word? Look, the way this is going to work is that His Worship is the Mayor. He has very obvious ideas, and he's been quite articulate in those ideas. And I think it's my job then to help him populate those ideas around the elected members and find a consensus with everybody, really.
Have the pair of you got an agreement on what it is you will agree on and maybe differ on?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Will there be?
Will you be supporting...
We're not sworn in yet, Vernon.
Will you, as Deputy Mayor, have to support major policies such as the budget and so forth that are put forward by the Mayor?
He didn't ask me to be Deputy Mayor if I. All right?
So you've got the ability, if you choose to vote against aspects of the Mayor's
Let's
programme.
not create a negative situation until overnight. I think I'm very aware of some of his key points that he stood on. Auckland's voted for that, and I think we need to respect that, and we'll have discussion on how they are debated and decided on around the governing body, around the local board table, and include the CCOs and the IMSB.
The previous Deputy Mayor was very loyal and supported most of the programs of Mayor Goff. Do you plan to do the same with Mayor Brown?
I have a huge admiration for Bill Cashmore, but we're very different people.
Does that mean you'll have your own views more often?
I will always have my own views, Todd.
And
And the Mayor will be very clear about what they are, but I think that's what a team does, doesn't it? It works together and nuts out challenges each other's thinking and subjects and comes to a conclusion.
Mayor Brown, do you expect your deputy to support major policies such as the budget?
Well, I stood on very plain, simple 4 or 5 points, and I received an overwhelming majority for those, and the people that voted for me are the people that voted for all of the councillors, and they will all be aware that in going against those things will be going against the very votes that put them in there in the first place. And they are quite sensible things. The public thought they were sensible. And so far in interviewing my councillors, they also see them as sensible. But will they be sworn to utter allegiance? No. If you offer sensible things, it's surprising how people follow them.
When will you announce committees and chairs?
Over the next week or so. I haven't got an exact date for that, but I only met one of the councillors yesterday. Unfortunately, she fell over her dog and damaged her leg, and so I told them all I wouldn't make any strong decisions until everyone had had the opportunity to say something to me.
Well, if you say next weeks before the committees are even set up, does that not slow down the council business?
No, I don't think so. I think that if you want to make strong, steady progress, which I do, then you've got to set out the groundwork to ensure that the people are happy and will come with you.
Mayor Brown, just back on the ports, have you got to the bottom of who was talking with DP World and what those conversations were?
Not quite. In fact, it seems to have popped up slightly out of the blue, but it seems that some people knew more than others. But it doesn't really matter because it's not going to go anywhere.
By some people, do you mean Phil Goff?
No, I don't know. No, I'm not. I don't mean any particular person. It could have been any. It could quite easily have been the people from the port company trying to, the people buying might have. So no, I'm not running a detective story. But it's not going to happen, so we'll move on to other things.
Just on that, did any officers or former councillors know about foreign operators' plans to take over the port?
Well, I haven't been a former councillor. Desley's going to have to ask that one because I don't know.
I'd have to come back to you on that, I'm not sure.
So off the top of your head, it was news to you?
Even off the bottom of my head, it was news to me.
No, for Desley, it was news to you that there might be a talk going on somewhere?
There was an expression of interest given to council, and it has to go through a process.
Did you know about that?
Yes.
When did that expression of interest come?
Can't remember, Bernard.
What?
I don't know. But they're confidential, those expressions of interest.
But I mean, we're talking last 6 months, 2 years ago.
Can't remember, sorry.
Mayor Brown, in your letter to Ports of Auckland Board, you specifically ruled out selling the port and also mentioned that you were
I did.
Yes, which suggested to me that you did know about this
No,
proposal.
I didn't know that at all. Absolutely not. But I know that around the world, various cities have entered into those things and regretted it later on. And so, no, I didn't. I had no idea there was a live chat going on. I can be quite categorical. It was cropped up this morning or last night as the first we heard of that.
So it's not something you and Desley have talked about?
No.
No, not at all.
If somebody comes along to council with a presumably multi-billion-dollar proposal for an asset, do you think it's inappropriate for council officers to at least take a meeting?
Is it inappropriate for the council officers or?
To at least to get themselves briefed on it so they can talk to you?
Well, I think that the first thing to do is let the mayor know that these things are out there so that the mayor could say, is this a goer or a no-goer? If, so, for instance, one of the property development firms came